Some of us have had this dirty, dark cloud hovering over us, and it's just fucking raining, and it's been raining for like 6 months, and it's dirty, and you're fucking all wet. The rain is even dirty, and you can see it, and it's all over your face, and that's how you're living every day. Many of us are still doing that, still living like that. And the more that you listen to this podcast, the more that you start taking action, the more that you give, the more that you do good, the more good comes back. But you got to put yourself first. I'm Luke, and you're listening to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. Welcome back to another extraordinary episode on the Luke Mind Power Podcast. What's up, guys? I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident after last episode where I did a solo episode, and I was like, damn, I haven't done a solo episode for a while. And I jumped on because I've been doing so many interviews in studio, and then it's interesting to observe your behavior after you do something over and over and over and again. You get really, really good at it, and then you don't do it for a little bit, and then it's kind of like you lost your mojo, you lost your flow. But yeah, nevertheless, it doesn't take me long to really get back into my power. So whatever platform you're tuning in on, whether it's on my social media platforms, my Spotify or Apple podcast, podcast platforms, if you're watching on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, welcome to the Luke Mind Power Podcast. It's a blessing to have you. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is a very positive podcast. It's a podcast that exerts a lot of energy and is made to really wake you up to your greatness, to wake you the fuck up, because your life is short and it may seem like you have so much time. I'm not here to conform to any sort of belief system or ideology of what other people and other cultures and what the world wants me to talk about or to be. I'm just here to be my true, authentic self. And if you don't like the way that I speak, if you don't like what I talk about, that's okay. I'm not concerned about that, okay? My purpose is to be authentic. And the more that I can be authentic, what I've learned is that the more I stand in my power, the more I give permission for other people to also be authentic. I inspire other people to own their truth, to show up for themselves, to believe in themselves, to love themselves, to do exactly what's right for them. And something that's interesting that I heard recently is that, we don't want to shine too bright. We don't want to hurt other people's feelings. We don't want to speak our truth, or we don't want to show up too authentically, right? Because we're afraid of hurting other people's feelings. And, I recently actually had an experience like this where, this is deep, but I have to share it, where someone was hurt because of my actions. Not that I did it intentionally, but it was something that I had to go through. But I could have easily not done it. I could have been fake. I could have gone through the experience and just pretended like it was real and everything was right. And it is a relationship. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but it was something I was open to because I wanted to experience it. And in the process, it hurt her feelings. It hurt her. When I witnessed that, I was like, fuck. But man, the pain of rejection, the pain of not receiving or getting what you want, it's the fucking best thing for you, The beautiful thing about it is that what I've learned from relationships is that I respect so much someone who can tell me exactly how they feel, right? Not sugarcoat it, not butter it up, not like, make it sound nice so I'm not offended. Nah, speak your fucking truth, man. Tell me exactly how you feel. If you're not vibing with me, if you don't see potential, if you don't see this long term, fucking say it. Don't pretend like it's all good. Don't pretend like you want to be with me. And so that's what I've adopted, and that's what I never did in the past. I never spoke my truth. I never ever was as authentic and real and raw as I am right now. And what I'm learning in relationships is that, like recently, although I'm not in one right now, but there have been a couple recently. What I'm learning is that I'm receiving so much more respect. because I'm being authentic, because I'm saying it exactly how it is, right? And it's hard to hear at the start. It's fucking hard. Like it's like shit, you know? But it is like, it shows that you are not fake. And I think that's what's missing in society. That's what's missing in our, and it's not just that, it's in friendships, it's in relationships, it's in business relationships. It's actually owning exactly what you want to fucking say, you know, because we're afraid of hurting other people's feelings, basically. And the truth is, when you stop yourself from speaking your truth and not being authentic because you're afraid of hurting other people's feelings, you're fucking hurting yourself. That's basically what you're doing. You're sacrificing yourself. You're saying, well, I'm not going to speak my truth. I'm not going to share what I really want to share. Well, because I don't want to hurt and make someone feel a specific way. When in reality, what you're really doing is you're dodging your own truth of what you really want to say and how you really feel. So basically, you're not putting yourself first. And one of the rules of self-love is to put yourself first, you know? And if you haven't practiced this, look, we're human, right? We have feelings. We feel stuff, you know? And so, yeah, it hurts, but it hurts even more to play a stupid game of wearing a mask and trying to be like something that you're fucking not. You know, it takes energy to be fake. You know, it takes energy to pretend, you know, to pretend like I'm happy in this relationship or this business or friendship or whatever the fuck you're in. It takes so much energy and it's fucking draining, man. And I've fucking had enough of that shit. You know, I just won't. You know, if you come into my life and I feel like there's something that's off or there's something that needs to change or I need to, you know, talk about something with you because things have changed or I don't feel the same way, guess what? You're going to fucking get a call from me. You're going to get a message from me saying, hey, let's have a chat. I want to talk to you about something. And I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to freaking hide it, you know, because that's where you lose your power because you're pretending. And the thing is, that's why, you know, that peace, I always talk about your peace is your power. When you're peaceful, you're powerful. You're in flow, right? You're in alignment. You're like, you know, in your true like flow of being, right? Who you are versus there's something there. I can feel it. Shit, I need to talk about this, but I'm afraid to talk. I'm afraid of hurting their feelings, so I'm not going to say anything. Fuck, what are they going to think when I tell them? Shit. So you play the game. You know, you play like, shit, man. You know, can't say it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, well, right? If that's working for you, the way that you're showing up and how you're not being authentic and real, well, fucking keep doing that then. You know, keep hurting yourself. Keep putting other people first, you know, because that's basically what you're doing. And if you keep doing that, right, you're going to lose energy. You're not going to live your fucking best life. And I know it takes confidence, you know, it takes confidence. It takes self-love, right? It takes building a healthy, loving relationship with yourself to know that, you know, I can't be anything other than who I am. And if you want me to be something that I'm not, and you don't like the way that I am, guess what? I don't want you to be in my life if you can't accept me for who I am. You know, I went to see, you know, a place in Dubai called Prana House, and, you know, they do meditation, yoga. They welcomed me. They messaged, Gitanjali messaged me when I was in Australia, and she's like, oh, you know, when you come to Dubai, I'd love to welcome you to our place, into our wellness center. And, you know, a lot of people that reached out to me and that I reached out to in Dubai before I was coming here were just so welcoming. And I was actually really inspired by how loving and open people were to like networking and like, yes, let me know when you're here. Let's talk. Let's do a podcast. Let's go for dinner. Yeah, absolutely. Come to my restaurants. You know, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know these people. And people are just being so welcoming, you know? So I was like blown away, but I went and visited them and I was late. I said I'll be there 10 a.m. and I knew I was going to be late. I was rushing. I was like, shit, I got to go to the gym first. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I got on them WhatsApp and I sent her a message and I said, listen, I'm running a bit late. I'm running about 15, 20 minutes late. I'm very big on communication, and, I really believe in clarity versus confusion, because if I'm running late and I don't say anything, guess what that does? Creates confusion. So it's not just in relationships, someone that you love, right? It's in friendships. It's in every single connection that you have. How are you fostering a form of clarity continuously in that connection, right? Because what does clarity bring? Clarity brings peace. So I try to continue to live that way. And I was talking about this to a friend. I was like, what I do on my podcast, how I speak, and what I talk about, I actually have to be impeccable with my word, because I actually have to live by everything that I say. So don't for a second think that, I bet you Luke doesn't speak his truth all the time. Or I bet you Luke doesn't do what's right for him, even when he feels guilty for doing so. I bet you Luke doesn't put himself first. Bullshit. Why do you think I'm fucking in Dubai? I'm in Dubai because I put myself first. I'm in Dubai because I said, you know what? I need to fucking isolate myself because I want to fucking focus. I don't want to be distracted. I don't give a fuck about anybody else right now. I'm thinking about myself, right? Isolate to elevate. You want to grow, you got to let things go. And that's a pretty uncomfortable experience. It can be a lot of fear. I never used to be this way in terms of like even traveling and going, oh my God, I'm going to go to a new country. I'm going to move there. I got to go through and get a visa and go get a bank account and go and do all this shit and like get an apartment. And like, I had to figure it all out, but I never would have done this. Like if you'd known me like 10 years ago, I was fucking a scaredy cat, I would hate to go out of Australia because another country was out of my comfort zone, and it was scary to be somewhere where I didn't know anybody. But once you build a little bit of self-confidence by investing in yourself, because that's everything, that changed everything for me. I started to invest in myself. And what I mean by investing in yourself is not going to university, investing in your personal development. Warren Buffett says the biggest investment that you can make in your life is in yourself. And I've taken it one step further, and I say that the biggest investment that you can make in your life is in your own personal development and healing. Because many of us are traumatized and hurt and living in fear and shame and limiting beliefs, insecurities. We're holding on to a lot of pain, suppressed emotions from where? The past. And what does that cause? Insecurities, self-doubt, don't feel like I'm good enough, fucking scared to leave where that's all I've known, so I'm scared to leave. So why do I say the biggest investment is to invest in your personal development and healing? Because when you start doing that, you unlearn all of the bullshit that's fucking holding you back. Like, listen to what I'm saying. So that when you unlearn that, what happens? You build superpowered confidence. You learn to have your own back. You learn to be your own best friend. You learn to be your own biggest fan. You learn to be freaking that person that's cheering for you, that knows that, hey, it's going to be all good. Even when it's not all good, it's all good. You learn to be okay with communicating with yourself. You learn that you are independent and you don't have to fucking rely on no one. You become self-reliant, but that also creates confidence because you work on yourself. You become very aware of your thoughts. And the truth is, you're not your thoughts. You're just the observer of them. And yeah, sometimes they're going to creep in. Sometimes when you're growing and you're trying to transform and heal and develop yourself and become a better version of yourself and build more confidence, there's always going to be those doubts. There's always going to be a bit of fear. I still deal with it. It's just that I don't allow it to control me. A couple of these solo episodes that I've started recently, I'm like, oh shit, this is a bit out of my comfort zone. I haven't done a solo episode for a minute. And what do? Do I sit here and go, shit, man? This is hard. I can't do this. This is weird. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Fuck off, man. Your negative thoughts, tell them to piss off. You listen to that conversation. And then Les Brown says, that inner conversation, he's like, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. You got to fucking step up for yourself. You got to live your freaking best life. You got to do this and you got to do that. You got to be hungry. And then he's like, that inner conversation that's going to stop you, right? But where the fuck did that inner conversation come from? Where did it come from? When you were born, did you have an inner dialogue? When you were a fucking baby, did you have a voice there that was saying, you were just born and you're a baby and you're a fucking idiot and you're not enough and you're stupid and you're not intelligent and you can't live your best life? Like, think about that. When you were born, was that what you were thinking? No. Your environment, the way you were raised, how you were parented, what happened at school, how you were bullied, all the fucking experiences and situations and stuff that you went through has caused you to become, right? It's made such a profound impression on the way that you think that now you think that way, right? So this is a fucking war. Like, you have to go to war with your own mind. And it's up to you how much you want to invest. Okay, don't fucking make excuses that it's too hard, that you can't do it, because you'll be making excuses in fucking 20 years when you look back and you go, oh, damn, you know, I could have made some positive changes. I could have tried, but I freaking doubted myself. That's going to hurt even worse. You think it hurts now? You think it hurts to grow? Wait till fucking you have to see what it feels like in 20 years' time when you haven't done fuck all. Wait till you see what that fucking feels like. And that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm here to freaking wake you up, to remind you, to help you, inspire you, motivate you, so that you don't wait 20 years. So you make those changes right now, because start the process. Because 5 years ago, I started my process. And this is the result of 5 years of investment in myself, growing, taking action every fucking day. Not giving up, learning, making mistakes. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be fucking perfect. That's where you learn all this stuff, by not being perfect, by actually trying and doing shit. And when you do shit, you learn. And when you do shit, you make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you get better and better and better. If I knew it all, there'd be no fucking fulfillment or satisfaction. I don't want to know it all. I want to make mistakes. Everyone out here who wants to be a perfectionist, where did that fucking come from? That came from your childhood. I talked about this before. Get 90% in your fucking exam. Not good enough. Next exam. Come first, come second, come first in the fucking sprint, mate. Not quick enough. You know, you nearly broke the world record, but not quick enough. Because should have broken the world record. And then you're striving to be perfect. You're striving to always win, and you never got recognized for it. Never got validated for it. Never got approval from your parents or from fucking your guardians or whoever is in your life. And people are always telling you that you're not good enough. So you have this mindset of like trying to be perfect, and stop it. It's all fear-based. It's all bullshit. Maybe it's a toxic relationship. Maybe it's someone that you've been with for so long and just you're never enough. You cook some nice spaghetti with some salad and shit and some bread, garlic bread. This is fucking shit. What the fuck is this? Like, imagine being in a relationship where every time you made something, every time you did something, you folded the clothes, you did the washing, you cleaned the fucking house, and the other person that you're with kept putting you down, telling you that this is stupid and this is, why did you do this? Don't fucking fold the clothes and put them on the lounge there. Put them in the bloody laundry. Why are you leaving this shit here for? And it's never good enough. Imagine that. Imagine. And I know some of you guys are listening. You go, oh my God, you're talking to me. I'm in this relationship right now. How fucked is that? Like, this is where you want to knock yourself on the head and go, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. What a shit relationship to be in. Why would I want to be with someone who fucking doesn't appreciate what I do and who I am? Like, pay attention to that shit, because that's where your freaking perfectionist will come in. Fuck, I can't do this. I can't do that. It's like, yeah, why are you like that? Because I was in a shit relationship with someone who couldn't appreciate my value. And you ask yourself the question, why am I even in a relationship with someone who doesn't appreciate me? Well, because I don't appreciate myself, because I'm afraid of being alone. No, I'm afraid that no one's going to love me. It's like, you fucking love yourself, mate. Stop waiting for other people to love you. There's fucking billions of people in this world. Your purpose is to freaking wake up to yourself and grow and evolve so you can actually attract someone that's fucking meant for you, that's healthy for you, that can appreciate you, that will give you the love that you fucking deserve because you gave it to yourself, because you went on the journey. You took the fucking risks. You made the mistakes. You learned. You never fucking gave up. That's why you deserve to be with someone fucking extraordinary, because you fucking showed up for yourself. You feel me? I know you do. So keep being in your own way until that's the whole purpose of this podcast. You're listening to this podcast, fucking share it with all your friends right now. Share it on your Instagram. Tag me as well, because I want to know so I can reshare it. I want to see who's listening, who's watching. Come on. Wake some more people up. That's the purpose of this podcast. If you guys aren't sharing this with your friends, you're letting them miss out. You know, this is the whole journey. You're watching this on social media. Share it with your freaking friends on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Because surely there's people that you know that are in their own way. They're doubting themselves. They need some motivation. They need some inspiration. They need some good energy, man. You know, the other part of me moving to Dubai is to take care of myself more. Because let me tell you, man, what I do, it requires a lot of energy. And I have to take care of me, man. Because if I don't take care of me, fuck, I can't take care of you. And that's why I always say, self-love is part of taking care of yourself. It doesn't matter what your family wants, doesn't matter what your friends think. Your purpose in your life is to fix you first. And when you come home to you, you fix you, man. You are so powerful to be able to help other people. And so that's all I do. I pour into me. I keep pouring into me. I don't have it all figured out. I was talking to a few, I was at Prana House today and I was talking to the ladies there, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm doing this shit. Like, I've never done this before. I used to have this belief of, I can't have my own business because I've never done it before. And, if I ever had a business, I would get my brother-in-law to run it for me. And I'm just curious to know, what kind of things are you saying to yourself right now that are so limiting? Like, we all have limiting beliefs, and that was one limiting belief that I continue to replay. I continue to say it, and that's why I say be impeccable with your word. One of the 4 agreements, be impeccable with your word. Be careful what you speak, because your words are basically what you're manifesting. Whatever you say is what you become. So if you keep saying that, I don't know how to run a business and I can't run a business, or, I couldn't do that, you're telling your mind that you can't do it, and your mind is paying attention. And just like you being programmed by a negative experience or someone bringing you down or being bullied in the past, that's what you're doing to yourself. You're bullying yourself. This level of self-awareness, it would be incredible to think, wow, imagine I had this kind of self-awareness when I was 25. Fuck. But that's okay. Everything is supposed to happen the way that it has. Just like in your life, everything has happened the way that it's supposed to for you to get to this point in time right now, for you to be here listening to this episode. So don't for a second think, live in regret, sit there and go, oh my gosh, I wasted so much of my life, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man, you've got so much wisdom. Don't for a second think you don't have anything to give. You have so much wisdom, so many talents, so much greatness in you. And if you haven't discovered them yet, it just means that you haven't done enough work on yourself. You've been living under a bit of a rock. You've been hiding away a little bit too much. And, you've been living in your head too much. You stay in your head, you're dead. And you've got to come back to your heart. Hence why investing in yourself, learning to love yourself, working on yourself, everything changes, man. And, surrounding yourself with really high vibrational energy. That's probably one of the biggest keys. Surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with people who are on a higher level than you, because basically you emulate the people that you surround yourself with. It's like a contagious drug when you're surrounded by energy that lifts you up, right? Or that people are doing better than you or more than you. You feed off it. It's like we're vampires. We feed. It's just like energy vampires, people who are on a low vibration, who are draining you because you're always helping them, but they never help you, and you're always giving because you're a people pleaser, and because you want validation, you want to feel like you fit in. You don't want to be left out, and so you keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving because you want that recognition. You want to feel enough, and so then you wonder why you're drained all the time, because you're never being poured into. You're always pouring into others. And many of us are guilty of that. That's why it's really important to step back a little bit and really reflect and take a look at where you are in your life and ask yourself the question, what are some of the limiting beliefs? What are some of the things that I tell myself every day that could be stopping me from actually that next level of life? And, that was one of the things that I was saying all the time. That I couldn't run my own business, and if I did ever have it, I would get someone else. I'd tell my brother-in-law to do it because he's good at business. And I'm like, yeah, but how did he get good at it? Well, he's been doing it. How do you get good at anything? How did I fucking get good at having my own podcast and learning how to do this shit? I just took action, man. I don't know all this stuff, right? Like, please, your ignorance is what's going to ruin your life. Whatever you want, for the 50,000th time, go on YouTube and type it in. How do I build confidence? How do I start a podcast? How do I make spaghetti bolognese? Fucking whatever you want, bro. Seriously, how do I shuffle? Go on YouTube. Someone made a video about it just for you. And they're like, hey, thanks for coming to my video. I'm going to teach you how to shuffle. And talking about shuffling, so many people, I get DMs saying, hey, teach us how to shuffle. And the thing is, I don't even know how to fucking do it. I'm just learning from Danilo Gravina, fucking that Italian guy. Have you guys heard of that bloke? Danilo Gravina. If you guys haven't heard of him, he's fucking Italian. He's from Australia. He was born in Australia, but he's Italian. He's a DJ. His name's DJ Danilo. And somehow I ended up working with him at the Olympics in 2000. And then we became best friends. I don't know. He said he was faster than me, and he was. He beat me in a race, fucking bastard. And I thought I was fast. And, and then he fucking, the whole time, I wanted to be better than him with something. Even the chicks, man, like when we were growing up, he always got the girls, man. That wasn't fair. He was always getting all the chicks, He was picking up all the girls. And I was just standing there on the side, this skinny little lanky kid. And Danilo was always fucking picking up the chicks. And I was like, fuck you, man. You always get them. But I tried to keep a strong face. I tried to pretend like I was cool as well, like him. And, I could do it too. And sometimes I did. I don't know how I managed to get some girls when I was so little and skinny and shit. but that bloke, seriously, that guy, fucking Danilo Gravina, go on Instagram and follow him. He's freaking funny, man. He's like, he has helped me a lot, because I emulate what he does. I told you, man, who you surround yourself with is whom you become. That bloke, the way he dances, it rubs off on me. You want to know why I'm such a good dancer? Because of him. Go on his Instagram and have a look at his freaking dancing. You're like, teach me how to shuffle, Luke. I'm like, no, go to Danilo and tell fucking him to teach you how to shuffle. He's the one that taught me. For real. I'm serious. I just learned from that bloke. And let me tell you, man, that guy, I'm telling you, maybe in the future he will be a comedian, because he is the funniest guy I know I've ever met in my life. It's weird. I don't know. It just is. And he does these stupid things, man, only around certain people, and he has to feel really comfortable. I don't know. With me, it's a bit more serious. Then Kobe Watts comes in around, and then he just makes all these funny faces and shit. But let me tell you, his confidence is growing. And 12 months ago, he wasn't the way he is now. Now he's dancing. He wasn't doing it. He was focusing on his DJing. Now he's dancing, and I can see what's happening. His level of confidence is growing a lot more. And that's why I'm a bit scared for the world, and I told him this one time when we were living together, and this is how much I fucking lose. I drop my ego, right? Because it's really easy for me, with all of my millions of followers on all my platforms, it's very easy for me to be in my ego and I've got more followers than you, bro. I'm better than you, right? And I remember having a night, we're having a few drinks, and I said to him, I said, listen, man, I said, I know that one day in the future, the number of people that follow you, your audience, will be bigger than mine. And obviously the music industry, he's in the music industry, he's a DJ. Music just connects on such a higher frequency. Yes, speaking and what I do is very powerful. But maybe not. Maybe my dancing, maybe what I do will just continue to expand, and which, I mean, it is fuck. That's a no-brainer. But I have that level of grace to be able to not sit here and yeah, I could put myself first, and yeah, I focus on me, right? But I just know his potential. I know how powerful he is, and I know what he has. He has greatness in him. He's one of a kind. There's no one else out there like him. There's no one that will dance like him, that will speak like him, that will make you laugh like him, and once he steps into his true, because he's not even like, he's not even his true authentic self yet. He's still fluffing around. Like, he's in Italy at the moment, but if you go on his page, you think, oh yeah, he's dancing, this and that, like he's DJing. Fucking bullshit, man. He's not even his best. He's nowhere near it, So you guys would obviously know a lot because you've seen many dance videos that I've done with him, but he hasn't even scratched the surface. And that's why I'm telling you, world, hold on, because as I keep working with him, I'm his secret mentor, sitting on his shoulder, and we talk a lot when we can. That he will surpass me, but he will be one person that is an icon. He's like a Tupac, That is something that I see, but it's going to take still a lot of work, a lot of unlearning. There's a lot of fear in his head, insecurities, self-doubt. There's still a lot of that shit. I just know that, and he knows I know. So, one of my greatest missions, I guess, as well, is for him to be, bigger than David Guetta, bigger than Calvin Harris, and he doesn't have to produce the music. He just needs to be himself. He'll have ghost producers. He'll be working with those big guys, and it's just, I see it. I know it. I know who he is. And it's just a blessing to have someone who is like-minded, who I'm very close with, and who I see their greatness and I know where they're going to end up, and again, everything is a mirror, guys. What I spoke about just earlier before, like, here I am praising my best friend, right, Danilo, and telling you a little bit about him, but I need you to understand what I'm actually doing. The words that are coming out of my mouth, be impeccable with your word. Did you hear me? You heard me say that before. Like, when you talk to someone and you're like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Or you give someone a compliment and you're like, thank you so much. Or, wow, I love your earrings. Or, I love your hair. It looks so nice. Or, I love your necklace. Or you're giving compliments. Or you're praising somebody. You're like, congratulations on this or congratulations on that. Being impeccable with your word is in a positive way for you, if you want to continue to program yourself in a really empowering way and to live a positive life, then you focus on the good things. So what I just did there is I talked about Danilo, but if my mind is listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth and I'm always the one that's programming my mind, what did I do? I just told you that he's amazing, that he's going to be at the top, that he's going to have more followers than me, that he has greatness within him, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying that about him, but my mind's actually paying attention to what I'm saying, and it's actually programming my mind in the same way. And that's why I say, like, when you're nice to people, you give compliments, you say good things, you're programming yourself, So that's why it's very, 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 very important. It's like almost as if, everything that you say is what you are, even when you're praising somebody else. That's why I say listen to people when they speak, because they are telling you what they have within themselves. And actually, I was talking to a client last week. We were talking about the difference between ego. Like, how do I step back from my ego or understand it? And I was like, and it's crazy because, like, it was an interesting question. I was trying to figure out the answer, and I'm not an expert, but I try my best. And actually, I came up with a really powerful solution. I'm like, well, when there is ego, there's no love. Ego is about protection. Ego is about, right? You have these moments of like, am I in my ego or am I coming from a place of, and I said, that's the difference. Ego is not love, right? When you come from a place of love, the ego disappears. So if I was in ego, I'd be like, nah, fuck Danilo. I'm better than him. He's not going to fucking beat me. I'm going to be more successful than him. Or I look at other professional speakers or podcasters and I'm like, in my ego. Who are they? What are they doing? Are they better than me? Blah, blah, blah. But if I come back to love, guess what love does? Love is unconditional love. It's like, wow, congratulations on your success. That's awesome. What does love do? Love says, I want you to win. You know, I want you to be successful. I want to see you thrive. That's love. Ego is no, don't shine too bright because I don't want you to be more successful than me. That's ego. So it was interesting that one of my clients in our group coaching session, she brought it up and she's like, you know, because she was having an opportunity to speak and she was afraid she was going to make a mistake on talking and what she was going to say. And then we talked about it. And I was like, you're trying to be perfect. And as you're not supposed to be perfect, you're just supposed to be yourself. But the ego was like holding her back, saying, no, when you speak, you better talk correctly because Luke's going to critique you and you're going to get in trouble, right? So make sure you do it right. And in doing it right, there was so much fear versus coming from a place of love and just saying, hey, it's okay. You know, just be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to be imperfect. And so that's really a powerful, powerful level of self-awareness, right? Where the ego doesn't control you. And if it does come up, guess what? You realize it and you go, oh shit, I'm in my ego there. Hang on a second. That's not love. But it does take a level of self-love for you to actually be able to understand that. Because again, I always say you can't give what you don't have. And when you've taken the time to invest in yourself and to build a stronger, loving relationship with yourself and heal from your insecurities and trauma and shame and pain and all that stuff from the past, then what you've done is like, it's basically you've drilled, into the facade that you've been constantly wearing this whole time as if you've got it all figured out. And what you've done is you've penetrated that. With a drill, it's like, and you've got through. And now that you've gotten through, now you're inside the truth. Now you're inside your true, authentic self, right? Now you're inside your real feelings, your real truth. And once you get inside, there's no going back because you really start to liberate yourself. You start to transform. You start to become someone you've never been because all of a sudden this mask has fallen off. All of a sudden this facade that has been, around your whole body as a shield, all of a sudden is starting to melt away because you're seeing the sun again, and the sun is shining on you because of this love that you're pouring into yourself because you're facing your fears. And the sun is now melting all of this facade that you've been wearing for so many freaking years because you've been afraid of the past, afraid of the truth. And it's not a coincidence that the statement, the truth will set you free is there because it will. But it's the fear of judgment and shame of specific experiences that we've gone through that are holding us back right now. And so what happens is we fall victim to that. And as Brene Brown talks about, your job in this life is to own your story, not let your story own you. And we all have a past, but we don't have to be defined by it. And this is what this journey of your life right now is all about. It's about alleviating yourself from your suffering. It's about freeing yourself. Like that's why you're here. You're here to free yourself. If there's any purpose that you're looking for and you're asking yourself, what is my purpose? My purpose is to free myself. If you're in any sort of discomfort or suffering or things are not going well for you right now, you're going through some sort of depressive experience or you're dealing with panic attacks or you're not sleeping properly, you're in suffering, right? If you're living in fear and you're always doubting yourself, you're in suffering. If you're not standing up for yourself and you're not speaking your truth and you're not doing exactly what's right for you and you're worried about what you're going to say because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings, you're in suffering. So the question is, how do you get out of suffering? And as I mentioned on the last previous episode, there's only two reasons why, and it's good because I need to remind you guys because I repeat myself a lot, and the purpose of that is to continue to program your mind in that sense of I needed to hear that again. I forgot about that, and like I've had to listen to motivational videos and tapes over and 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 over again continuously for it to sink in. So when I say we move from two reasons, from desperation or from inspiration. And what does suffering do? Suffering causes you to take action. If it doesn't hurt enough, you will stay where you are. And now if you think about your life right now, you think that you got so much time. You think you got so much time. Like the last 5 years went like this, man. Like I think about it, I'm like, fuck, man. I started this journey in March 2018. It's 2023, bro. It's more than 5 years ago. And I don't know where the time went. I'm just taking action and doing my thing. So the next 5 years are going to go just as quick. And I'm wondering where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, because it's going to go with the blink of an eye. And I'm going to be doing a podcast, talking to you guys going, you know, the last 10 years have gone so quick. I remember 2018 in March, and I started this journey, and it's fucking 2028. That's what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen to you, you know? So it's a shame. It really is a shame that you can be listening to this right now and you're not at that place where you're willing to take radical, relentless action. You're still in your comfort zone. It's not hurting enough. You know deep down that you're not happy. You know deep down that you're suffering. You know that you're a little bit confused and that things are not right in your life. But you're not at that point of like, I know this is enough. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. There's still a few more things that have to happen for you to really feel that pain, for you to go, I'm done. Or you have a light bulb moment by listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, by listening to this episode, which I pray for, I hope for, that you have one of those moments where you go, oh my God, you have just woken me up. In fact, if this is something that has just happened to you, please send me a direct message and write the word, Luke, I just woke up, so that I know that you've listened to this episode and that this is what's just happened to you. Because this is one of the biggest gifts. This is why I do what I do. Because it is probably the most extraordinary thing that can happen in your life, is for you to wake up and go, I'm done. I'm not staying here anymore. I'm not a tree. I'm not stuck. I'm going to take some sort of action. I'm going to take some sort of decisions and choices that are going to change my life forever, because I'm not staying where I'm at. And for everyone who's in a relationship that is not independent and is reliant on somebody else to take care of them in a relationship, there's many of you people that are like that. I know that for a fact. Okay. This doesn't mean that you can't change or take action. It means you need to create a fucking plan, a vision. Okay. Don't sit here and go, I don't have any money and they bring all the money. That's your fucking excuses, man. Okay. Excuses ain't going to get you no fucking results. So get off your ass, get a fucking job, start fucking taking action, start getting out of your comfort zone, start doing shit you never done before. Because if you don't start fucking looking and if you don't start asking, ain't nothing going to happen to you. You're just going to stay the same. Okay? What you seek is seeking you. You're looking for a job, there's a job looking for you. It's waiting for you to get there. Okay? And you got to show up, man. Because if you don't show up, you're going to still live that shit life. And it pisses me off, man, when I hear this shit that, you know, I have to, like, the independence, the freedom that you have when you are able to manage your own finances. You know, when I hear that somebody can't manage their own finances because they have to go and ask permission to fucking do something with themselves, fuck you, man. When I hear this shit, it pisses me off. Because I'm like, who are you, man? Like, you give all your power away to someone else to control your life. Man, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, I want you to hear this and go, fucking hell, man, what am I doing? Why have I done that? And I know that there's circumstances, but you got to be triggered, and this trigger's going to hurt, but you got to fucking wake up. And that's why I'm saying this. Because it's easy for me to fluff around and go, oh, you know, well, do some things, you know. Maybe you're meant to be where you are. Maybe this and maybe that. It's like, nah, bro, I'm going to tell you straight. If you're in one of those relationships where somebody else is in control and you can't do shit, fuck that. You should look at yourself hard and fucking long in the mirror and go, how am I going to get my power back? How am I going to live my best life? How am I going to get more control? And by the way, if you like to be in a relationship where you don't have any control and the other person controls you, good. Keep fucking doing that. But you know yourself if you're not happy. And that's definitely one of the reasons why you may be limited, you may be blocked, you may not be growing, you may not be happy, because that's your situation. Okay? Now, success requires patience, all right? And you're not going to get out of that situation straight away. But this is a test. What you're going through right now, okay, if you've come to a realization right now that you're like, oh my God, Luke, that's me, and that's what I want to do. I want to get my independence back. I want to be free. I want to have more control. Well, this is a test. How badly do you want it? Because guess what? You know what you can do? You can sit where the fuck you are and stay in your comfort zone, and nothing will change. And in 12 months' time, you will be in the same place. And even though it may be uncomfortable, you may not be where you want to be, it is easy, because that's all you know. So then when it's easy, your life will be hard. So you have to decide. And when you decide, you can come and thank me later, because you can choose to be your own worst enemy. And remember, when you say that shit, you program your mind. Or you can choose to step up and get out of the funk that you've been living in, out of this cloud. Some of us have had this dirty, dark, fucking cloud hovering over us. And it's just fucking raining. And it's been raining for like 6 months, longer. And it's dirty. And you're fucking all wet. You're freaking dripping. The rain is even dirty. And you can see it. And it's all over your face. And that's how you're living every day. Many of us are still doing that. Still living like that. And the more that you listen to this podcast, the more that you start taking action, the more that you start believing in yourself, the more that you give, the more that you do good, the more good comes back. But you got to put yourself first. You got to know that nothing's going to change unless you do. You got to know that no one else is going to have your back. No one else is going to save you. No one else is going to come and go, oh my gosh, wow, I've just found out that you've been really unhappy for the last 20 years. Oh, well, because I just found out, well, I'm going to come and save you. Yeah. You know who's going to do that for you? You. You're going to go to yourself in the mirror now and you're going to say, hey, I'm fucking sorry. I've been listening to my negative thoughts. I've been letting the people in my life program me in a negative way for so many freaking years, and I've been listening to that story over and over and over and over again, and that's why I'm in this situation, because I don't believe in myself, because I haven't loved you enough, because I haven't spent enough time with you, because I've just been giving and focusing on others and just suppressing everything. And I've never felt like I had a voice, and I've just been quiet this whole time, but I've had enough of being quiet, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I forgot about you. I'm sorry that I didn't put you first and then I didn't make you a priority. That's what you should do right now. Go look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm sorry. And I promise you that I'm never, ever, ever going to put you last again. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you start doing that, man, everything will fall into place. You will get into alignment. You will attract the right people into your life. And everything will start working when you learn to love yourself. You're not here to get approval of people, okay? People of fear. The one who speaks the truth is the one most feared, But again, it does take courage to live your dreams, because living your dreams requires you to show up in a different fashion. It's getting out of the norm. You want to live your best life. You want to be happier. You want the secret to happiness. You want to live in peace, but you're not willing to change. You're doing what everybody else is doing, but you want a different life. You got to do what other people are not doing. Stop following the crowd. Stop trying to fit in. I saw a quote today, and it said, it's something about it being lonely at the top. And I said, I don't care if it's lonely at the top, because it was lonely at the bottom. Many people of us are, even though we've got people around us, even though we're trying to fit in, even though we're seeking approval, we're people pleasing, we're doing, the yes, I'll be there, I'll come, yes, I'll do this for you, yes, I'll be there, yes, pouring into other people. Really, we may be doing that, but really deep down, we're really lonely. So that's you at your bottom, where you're really insecure, where you're really not happy, and you're people pleasing all the time. That's you being lonely. And guess what? When you get to the top and you grow, it's also lonely. But guess what? It's never lonely when you're with yourself, when you're with amazing company, when you're with someone who's absolutely extraordinary. Because you build a relationship with yourself, and it's not something that is uncomfortable to spend time with yourself. Like, you are extraordinary, like, I love spending time with myself because I'm fucking amazing. Why the fuck would I not want to spend time with me? I'm the shit. Just like you are. You have greatness within you. And it's time for you to start owning that and not being afraid of yourself. Because the truth is, you want to attract better. You want better relationships, right? You want to live your best life, but you're not willing to become better, because you only attract what you are, not what you want. So I'm able to attract better into my life right now, but I'm still very, very picky, I'm so deep in my purpose and what I'm doing that I don't want any distractions right now, eh? Like, I'll be really honest with you. I've just gone through a few experiences lately, and I've learned that my peace is so important. My environment, my space, what I do. I don't want any distractions. I don't want anyone taking any of my power away. I just want to focus. I just want to have my time. I just want to have my space, because my mission is so big that anyone who comes into my proximity is disturbing me. And I know that you can say, but what if it's someone healthy? What if it's someone that is going to add value to your life? And I'm like, I know, but I truly believe in the journey, the path of where I'm at, and I'm tuned in. And I know I've had to learn the lessons along the way for me to get to where I'm at now. And I've got a few speaking events coming up in the US in a few months' time. And so I'm not concerned about trying to add more people into my life. I'm open to the fact that, yes, there are connections that I will make, but I have to be very, very, very careful, with the energy that I allow, because I just don't have space for it, and this is uncomfortable for many people, for many of us. This is one of the fears that we are faced with growing, that you have to leave people behind. The one thing about my past is I had to leave a lot of people. They never did anything wrong. And I don't hate any of them. But do I want to go back and hang around them? No. I just don't. Some of these people can be my friends from the past, and they could be listening to this podcast, and they could be on my social platforms listening to me speak right now. And it's like, do you want to go back to like your boys who you spent time with 15 years of your life, and like who you went to school with when you were 14, and you were really close with them? Do you want to go and hang out with them right now? I'm like, fuck no, I don't. Right? And does that mean that I'm bad? Does that take away my humility? But they have a story too, but I'm like, yeah, but that's my past. And that's just how strongly I feel about moving forward. I'm growing, you know. If you want to come and hang around me, grow. You know, I'll force you. If you want me in your life, I'll force you to level up. Come to my level. And then again, you can sit and listen to this right now and you can, oh, Luke, you're in your ego. No, I'm not. I know my fucking worth. I know what I've done and what I've taken action on to become the person I am today. And I ain't willing to fucking lower my vibration by surrounding myself with people who are not on my frequency. Straight up. So when it comes to authenticity, when it comes to speaking my truth, right, I will be hated. People will listen to this and go, oh, he thinks he's the best, or he thinks this, or he thinks that. That's fine. You can have your opinion. Everybody has opinions, but your opinion is none of my business. The most important opinion is my own and what I think of myself. I just want to teach you to respect yourself. I want to be the example of, do what's right for you. It may not make sense for others, and it doesn't have to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. Your life is your life. You know you the fucking best. Stop trying to dim yourself or to conform or to try to go back to what hurt you or to do what you think other people think you should do, because that's most of the time what fucking happens, right? You're thinking and contemplating, well, what would they think or what would they like me to do? And it's like, nah, bro. Do what's right for you all the time. Hold your power. Know your worth. And with that, you'll get repercussions. You'll get pushbacks. You'll get rejections. Okay? And yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it's going to be a bit lonely. Yeah, people are going to talk shit about you. But you know your story. You know you the best. No one knows you like you know you. So stop giving people the power to try to manipulate you and make you feel guilty. It's okay to feel guilty. It's fine. But always question yourself in any moment or decision that you're going to make and say, if I love myself enough, what would be the right decision right now? If I loved myself like so much, I love myself, just like I love that person that you fall in love with, and you'll fucking do whatever you can to make them happy. That kind of love. Let me tell you, you will always have the right decision, And that's what I tell you, that when you learn to really establish this strong, loving relationship with yourself, you won't want to hurt yourself ever again. You won't go back to what hurt you. I love myself so much, I'm going to do whatever it takes to become successful. I love myself so much that I'm going to do whatever it takes to build self-confidence. I love myself so much that I'm going to do whatever it takes to attract a healthy relationship. I love myself so much that, can you see where I'm going with this? You love yourself to achieve whatever you want, because love supersedes fear. And when you have self-love, bro, you're unstoppable. Does it make sense? Anything that comes your way, fear, doubts, insecurities, I'm not good enough, bullshit. I love myself. I don't feel good enough, but I love myself so much I'm going to do it. Even though I don't feel good enough, I'm going to do it. I love myself too much. That's the power of it, literally. So that's why I say the secret to success is self-love. Now, let me talk about your past, okay? The one thing that I haven't done is I haven't been able to connect with someone who is like maybe Dr. Marie or Natalie Perla or something. She's a psychologist. She's on Instagram. She's got a big audience, but she's a psychologist, and she's very self-aware. She's very educated, obviously, but she talks a lot and she makes a lot of sense. And so, I'm not going to sit here and speculate. I don't want to make assumptions. But the one thing that I've learned and I guess I'm going to make an assumption that I doubt. Fuck it. I am going to make an assumption. If you go to therapy, why are you going for? You want help, right? You're expecting that this person is well educated and they're going to be able to help me to process my trauma, to help me to heal. So, and I know that's why I'm saying, well, I haven't gone to therapy. I haven't gone to a psychologist. I've been to a counselor. And again, what is it about? It's about talking. It's about reflecting. It's about understanding. It's about, healing, right? But most of the time, what are we trying to do? We're trying to take you back to the past so you can process that shit. And so you can understand it better. And so that you can release your feelings and emotions and you can cry and you can, right? But we are missing a huge component. We are missing a huge component before you start to try to do any of that shit. And if you're a psychologist and you're listening to this, please send me a direct message and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay? But before you can start to heal from your shame, from your sexual abuse, from your physical abuse, from your verbal abuse, from whatever abuse you went through as a child, before you can do any of that, financial abuse, whatever it was, before you can do any of that, before you can go and sit with someone and do that, you have to learn to love yourself. That is the missing link, right? We're trying to help people to process their shit and they don't even love themselves. They fucking hate themselves. They hate themselves so much because they've been so hurt, taken advantage of. Why would you, what did I tell you before? You love yourself so much you'll become successful. You love yourself so much you'll build self-confidence. You love yourself so much that even though you don't feel good enough, you still take action because you love yourself so much. So this is the same thing. That's why I say, if you're working with me, you will love yourself. I will teach you to love yourself. And then what's going to happen? Your healing is a byproduct of that. Because when you learn to love yourself, you will love yourself out of your trauma because you got your own back. You're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes because you love yourself so much. It's not, hey, come and talk to me. Let's talk about your past. When you don't have a relationship with yourself, why the fuck would you heal? Why the fuck would you put that energy towards yourself when you don't even have that love within yourself? When you love someone, you're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to make them happy. When you love yourself, you're willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to overcome your pain, your trauma, your suppressed emotions, your limiting beliefs, your fears, your doubts, whatever the fuck is holding you back. You will love yourself out of that shit if you learn to go through this journey. And it makes sense why I was the way that I was. Because I never loved myself. And that's why I continue to take action. That's why I continue to grow. That's why I continue to get out of my comfort zone. That's why I continue to believe in myself. Why? Because I love myself. And I promise you, if you learn to do this, you're unstoppable. You'll never be the same again. You'll step into your true, authentic power and you'll live your fucking dreams, man. You're not going to live in the past. You ain't going to sit there and fucking cry for the rest of your life because this is what happened to you. You're going to own that shit. You're going to turn the page. You're going to heal and you're going to fucking write a new story. And you're going to say, wow, I'm turning the page now and I'm the creator of my destiny. And I don't live in the past anymore because that was what happened. And I've processed it. I've healed from it. I've taken action. And I'm building now a new version of me. That's what your job is to do. You're saying, hey, up until now, I am a product of my past. But from today onwards, guess the fuck what? I am creating a person I've never been before because I'm going to start doing shit I've never done before. I'm going to start taking action, going through experiences, situations that I've never been through before. I'm going to do exercises I've never done before. I'm going to learn to love myself. I've never done that before. That's why you'll live a life you've never lived before. Powerful shit, man. Pay attention. Guys, It's been a blessing to spend time with you. I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed another amazing episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're tuning in on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, make sure you leave me a 5-star rating. If you enjoy this episode, send me a screenshot as well, so that I know that you're tuning in. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave me a 5-star rating and a review. And send me a screenshot as well on Instagram, and I'll send you a little surprise as well. So in saying that, please keep believing in yourself. Know that this is not the end of the road for you. This is just temporary, what you're going through, and you're going to get through it. And if you keep listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, guess what? There's no freaking doubt that you're going to get through it, because I'm going to keep having your back. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep being in your freaking ear. I'm going to keep motivating you, keep inspiring you, because even when I feel like I can't keep going, guess what I do? I love myself enough to keep going. Because there is always a bit of doubt. There's always like, oh my gosh, this and that. And there's always these stupid voices, because I lived that way for so long. Okay, you think that you're alone. No, I'm fucking with you, man. You think I don't have that voice? You think I don't have that old version of me? You don't think that my inner child still isn't scared and gets nervous and shit? Of course he does. But guess what? My job is, I was telling my clients, I was like, I created this alter ego. Like LMP, Luke Mind Power, is like the big brother of little Luke, insecure Luke, younger version of Luke, Luke that hated himself, that never loved himself, that never had any confidence, Luke Mind Power is the alter ego, and he protects little Luke, So don't fuck around. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace out. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and growth. If you're ready to grow and reach your full potential and find inner peace, send me a DM that says, I want inner peace, and I'll send you the next steps. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you change your mind, you change your whole life. So don't hesitate and send that DM over to me. Myself and my team can't wait to meet you and witness your transformation in full glory. See you next week.